Ah, hello there. Very nice to be tuning in finally after a number of glitches, but hopefully they'll gradually be ironed out. I'm sure we'll come across a few more. It's kind of part of the course. Welcome to Peach Gin. And I suppose today's stream will be just short, and it's really about sort of explaining where the idea came from. And I suppose this has been something just before this unfortunate situation befell us. I had begun a venture which was with regards to starting an events company. Possibly, the worst idea as eventually I was to realise, because obviously that's something that has suffered so terribly in this situation, along with so many others suffering with the actual virus, which is awful. But anyway, the idea was initially to create a forum for new talent, new ideas. So that doesn't always come from new talent. Sometimes new ideas come from people that are currently within the business. When I say the business, I mean the business of being creative. So just to give you some idea of where eventually these streams will go, I hope to introduce some new music. I will perform myself, as some of you who know me know that's what I do. And with relevance to some of those people, I will start with regards to some questions that I was asked, which was basically, how did I come into the business, as it were? And I suppose I'll jump straight in there. Obviously, I was very lucky to have the mum and dad that I had. My dad was very gifted as a musician, and my mum loved dance, and she was so supportive and so enthusiastic. From a very, very young child, it was very clear that was something that I loved and enjoyed to do, which was to entertain people. And so I went through various different modes of expressing my creativity. I was always interested in art. I loved to write, often with quite a different fashion of spelling, so I was told at a younger age. And the thing that I really connected with through music was dance. And so eventually, I think I'd gone to a tap and ballet school, and at that point it didn't quite suit. So I was introduced to the idea of going to a school which was called the Beza Dance School, and that was ballroom and Latin dance school. And now the lady who actually introduced me to that was a lady called Lillian Trott. And actually, she was Laura Trott's grandmother when she was alive. And she took myself and another neighbour, Sarah, along to the dance school. And we just absolutely loved it. And I stuck with it until I was about 16 or 17, and ended up doing it semi-professionally. Because obviously I was very young, and I met people like the Cliftons. I was judged actually by Len Severn, who I was told loved the way that I danced, because basically it was with relevance to, he really liked sort of basic steps. And I can remember I'd gone along to a dance competition at Crystal Palace. It turned out to be the last competition that I danced with Pete, who was my teacher. Bless Pete and Pat. They were lovely. And he said, "Oh, come on, we've got you entered, so let's do this." And it was a rumba. And I can remember I danced. I just had a taffeta black practice skirt that was there. And I can remember I danced and apparently got marked first on every round, and I won. And that was something that caused a lot of joy and hysteria in the school. They were very, very excited about that. So anyway, that sort of led to the various different aspects of me at school, wanting to sort of be part of those creative ventures that we were fortunate enough to be able to be a part of at school. And I remember being asked if I would like to audition by Carol Garbett, who was the music teacher there, the most amazing woman. And we were doing Godspell. So I sort of decided that, yes, I would go along and audition, and sort of learnt about the idea of what that meant and so on. And I went ahead and got the role, which was named as Peggy, and I was hooked. It was a feeling that was simply addictive to me. I loved the unity of being with people on stage. I loved the outcome, and I loved the joy of an audience enjoying my joy. It just was incredible to me. And I went on, we did Orpheus in the Underworld, we did Tin Pan Alley at the school, we entered various different music festivals. I became more and more interested in singing. I showed an affinity to sing opera even at that sort of young age. I think I was about 14, singing the role of Juno in Orpheus in the Underworld. And that was really something that I can remember Miss Garbett, Carol's surprise when I'd come along to sort of practice the role, and she was just so surprised, and I loved that as well. That was also fantastic. So I went on and decided that my education needed to be structured. Excuse me, trying to find my hanky. There we are. Needed to be structured towards being able to study further, because that was imperative as far as Dad was concerned. I needed to be qualified, and I needed to have something to fall back on, and God bless him for teaching me that. And so I did my A-levels studying at, as it was called then, East Herts College, and now it's called Herts Regional. And actually my younger daughter goes there, so that's quite a full circle. My elder daughter attended there as well. And from there, I can remember I had to audition in those days, going back all the way then, for my grant to be able to attend for university as such. And I was lucky enough to gain a place at the Guildford School of Acting with the lovely Michael Gaunt, who was head of the school then. He was principal. Absolutely fantastic man. I'll go on to share more stories, I no doubt, with regards to GSA. So many wonderful people that I met there. And I get a little bit teary. There's people that we've lost, but people that still remain as happy memories, and that's the things that we need to bring forward. So I went on, I auditioned, was successful, and went on to study my 3 years at the Guildford School of Acting, and gained my diploma, which is basically an equivalent degree. That was just how it worked then. And was lucky enough to go forward into a career of musical theatre, and meeting lots and lots of people with regards to the business, and it sort of went off onto various different tangents. So where I am today is, I believe very firmly in young talent, and I think that we need to, in this circumstance, try and help to provide a forum that is going to bring that young talent forward. I've got 2 daughters who are fabulously beautiful and talented. Obviously, I'm going to say that, but they are. They'll be running their stream after this on TikTok. This is all very new to me, so I'm sort of trying to understand the circumstances of how it all works. But like the true professional, I will. And obviously there are going to be a lot of purple references, because with regards to my love of all things purple and Prince, there's clearly a lot that has to be enjoyed and said. So I think probably for today, that's enough of an introduction about me. It's my chance to obviously become more familiar with the equipment. For anyone who wants to forward any questions, any requests, or just wants to contact me, please do. With relevance to alerting people with regards to further streams, I will put details onto my Facebook page, and gradually we'll sort of create a forum on there, I think, which can highlight things that we're doing, various ventures that we're doing. There's some new music that I'm going to be releasing, which has been written by my elder daughter and adjudicated by the younger daughter as well. And so with relevance to that, I shall enjoy bringing that to you. And all it really stands for me to do now is to wish everybody well in this circumstance. We have some folks out there that don't quite understand the relevance of this dreadful virus. And I kind of promised myself I wouldn't speak too much about it, because we all have our own personal views and we all have our own opinions. I myself am following the guidelines with relevance to trying to keep my family safe, others safe, myself safe. And it's just very upsetting that some people's opinions will actually be, as a result of that opinion, devastating to families, because this virus is not stopping. The additional strain that we have here, the new strain in the UK, is fiercely spreading. Let's just spare a thought for the NHS. Spare a thought for how hard they are constantly working. Spare a thought for their families, and for the very small sacrifices that we are being asked to be making at this current moment. I think with relevance to the suffering that's not going to stop until everybody starts to realise that we have to listen. Opinions, absolutely, but let's not make it to the extreme where it's going to cost somebody maybe their life. So, on that note, I'm going to wish everybody a lovely evening or day or afternoon, wherever you might be in the world if you're watching this a bit later. And I'll see you all again soon. I shall post up when my next stream will be, and we'll see how this one's gone, and with relevance where I'll take the next one. Okay, lots of love. Take care.